Hey there, how are you? Welcome to Impossible Live. Welcome back if you're joining us again. As you're popping in live or for replays, please let us know where you are joining us from. And I want to give you a very warm welcome and wishings for a magnificent day filled with opportunities and possibilities. I'm known as Mel, hashtag cultivate trust. And I'm delighted to meet you if we're just connecting for the first time. And if we are reconnecting or you are preparing to celebrate and honor angel moms, bonus moms, fur baby moms, single dads, aunties, godmothers, nieces, legacies, and honoring guardian angels, this one is for you. It's also for you as we are preparing. Hey, Jackie, thank you, beautiful. As we are preparing to honor and celebrate all of these amazing women and the single dads in our life, and as that celebration continues in June, as Jackie's here, and I'm grateful for the Jackies squared in my life, meaning Jackie Hallberg of Jackie, if you're on LinkedIn, hosts an amazing live stream show called Jacks and Friends. Dr. Marcia's in the house. Leslie Flowers. Leslie, I'm delighted. We've had a chance recently to be on 2 different panels. I can't wait. And I'm hoping it happens again this week. What a pleasure. And Dr. Marcia, heading your way soon to get your beautiful book signed. And Lisa Fevek, who is amazing for those of us ladies and gentlemen, because my brother says men go through menopause too. And Lisa helps us navigate that. And if you're on LinkedIn and you haven't met any of these fabulous 4 ladies yet, I'm encouraging them in the chat to share what's upcoming for them that we can help them spread seeds about. That is partially what you'll see, that We Rise and Soar logo that's in the upper corner. Those are events that I host bi-monthly, except in May because of travel and upcoming family. Hey, Marcia. Woo! Marcia, I love your podcast. Your podcast. At any rate, you'll see that the right energy is in the room as I'm tackling what's not the easiest subject for me today. Replenished trust is easier to tackle because of our conversations about hidden truths, about trust lenses, about awareness, about discernment, and sometimes about what divides us. Replenish Trust, my amazing small and mighty team, Ann Schwab and Carla Sellers of Virtual Link Suite HQ. They said, Mel, you mentioned Replenish Trust this spring. And through our Cedar Trust Masterclass series, I always used to talk about Rejuvenate Trust. That was the R in Cedar. Cultivate Trust is a 5-part masterclass series. Cultivate Trust, which is my invitation for those who are interested in pursuing it and updating their trust lens and elevating their team's performance in modern workforces, or exploring self-trust. Cultivate Trust is what I love to invite others in to approach and explore. Then there was Explore Trust. There was Develop Trust. There was Attract Trust. Now, the positive intelligence people, you know Explore Trust as a superpower, and you know Attract Trust as sage powers. But the R I picked with the help of Yvette Bethel of Organizational Soul and IFB Network. The R I picked was for Rejuvenate. And I thought of Rejuvenate kind of tying in to the cultivate. If we're planting seeds in relationships or as we're exploring the world, the rejuvenate part would be to kind of get a refresher. But then Carla and Anne, and I really appreciate them because Carla's been with me since this trust journey, since I started trust certifications with Yvette Bethel 4.25 years ago. And I met Yvette 4.5 years ago at a more than EQ conference hosted by Jacqueline Hines. And I'm grateful for the journey and the sharing of the journey. For those who know me well, I've been stuck for a bit in my Advanced Trust Facilitator certification project. It is finally going to be in Yvette's hands tomorrow. And I was reminded as this full moon in Scorpio came, as some other stuff was coming up, and I shared a little bit of it in 2 posts today, is in 2 posts over the weekend, conversations and deep dives. When my dad transitioned, he was surrounded by family and Nat King Cole. And my brother made sure the love was in the room. His favorite music was in the room. And Unforgettable was one of my dad's 2 favorite songs. So it's interesting as we're about to celebrate Mother's Day, this daddy's girl is sharing Unforgettable. And the version of Unforgettable that I shared in LinkedIn is the duet between Natalie Cole and Nat King Cole. Now, some of the people who maybe have a different political origin in the link I shared will notice that Whoopi Goldberg is introducing Natalie Cole at the Grammys decades ago as Natalie sings this duet with her dad, who's on the screen. Hey, Mary Kay. Mary Kay, thank you so much. Needed some daddy's girl energy in the house. And here's Mary Kay right on time. So this has been a season of divine timing, a season of the reminder who's in our rooms, who's around. And the link I shared of Unforgettable, and I shared a very short part of the song on LinkedIn. I probably know it backwards and forwards. Another one of my dad's favorite songs was Dave Brubeck's Take 5. Mel knows every note in the 17-minute version. Oldest child. At any rate, in this process of Unforgettable and this process of replenished trust, Carla and Ann said, Mel, dive into replenished trust. And you know what? It really lit me up. It helped me also get really unstuck with what were the hidden truths behind what was keeping me back from submitting this Advanced Trust Facilitator report project. I realized I was missing family dynamics. I was missing the hidden truths that Yvette and my team have been helping me dive into for a while. But Lanier Johnston specifically, we did a linkability insights in January, building trust on LinkedIn when AI is wrong. Carla, this is my Carla. This is my Carla, beginning to end. She's behind every edited video on YouTube. She's ahead of me. She's also the sponsor of our upcoming Cultivate Trust in a Fragile AI World series, which launches on May 18th. 2 levels. Look at my LinkedIn carousel banner designed by beautiful Ilya Francis. Peek at my featured section and let's pop on a call or send me a direct message. We'll chat more about it. So, Unforgettable, that's what you are, reminds me of some of the things that Dad taught me when I was a little girl. That first, bring your daughter to work today. And I'll say today because I remember Mom having to talk to Dad quite a while about the fact that they didn't have any childcare for me, and Dad had a job in New York City buildings. He worked for Olin Water Service. Hello, beautiful Christy. Fabulous energy in the house. And he worked for Olin Water Service, and he had to take me to work, and he had all this equipment, and we're in these gigundo skyscrapers in the city, kind of like some of those skyscrapers and the big city dreams that you feel in the Jackson Friends opening that Bill Rochelle designed for beautiful Jackie. And as he took his daughter to work, Pop would talk to me all the time about the unseen people around. And I really appreciated that lesson. He taught me that there might be a day where I needed help and there might be somebody friendly around with now something I probably call smiles across the miles. Hey, Coach Carrie, thanks for popping in. Those, and Coach Carrie will laugh. Coach Carrie, these are the old glasses. Getting ready to pick up the new ones shortly and get some sunglasses. But at any rate, Dad would took me in the building, and I'm looking around because I don't think I had ever as a kid been in a skyscraper. So we're in like these big lobbies, these big corporate buildings, all these people like, what's this kid doing here? And I remember, you know, this fortunately was before the day where you had to show ID to go into a building, because at any rate, he kept holding on tightly to my hand, and I appreciate him, and I appreciate you guys, because you remind me, don't hide in the turtle shell. That's in one of the posts. You'll see an Impossible Live ages ago where there's Mel with two braids. Carla will smile because Mel with two braids is in one of our team behind the scenes chats. The other Mel head or profile head is Mel with a mask. I want to thank Ari's Yo in our Journey to Self series for reminding me to come out of the mask. And Mary Kay, besides your amazing post, my grandfather was a printer. Pop worked on Varick Street. Just like Dad taking me to a building, Pop had to do it many years later. There was a strike and he had to drive me to work because I went to school in Manhattan at the time. But Mary Kay is saying she loved going to work with Dad. The smell of printer's ink, the rhythmic sounds of the printing presses, good memories. Mary Kay has a beautiful post honoring her dad, and I want to thank you for the reminder. Mary Kay, as we're sharing our stories and hanging out with Christy and Ari's Yo, who Annie says has radical transparency. Kimberly Lechnick, pockets of peace is in the house. And Kimberly also, just like Carla, has been kind of with me from the beginning on the trust journey. And Kimberly's a great person to check into we're talking about exploring relationships, and we're talking about EQ, the emotional intelligence part. I mentioned positive intelligence, and the trust work lines up with emotional intelligence, with emotional mastery. And as Yvette helped me understand with our trust sequence and our distrust sequence. But Unforgettable, the daddy's girl, had to learn that some people weren't always with us, even though they were smiling. And I had to really separate and learn through the trust journey. And I really have been exploring this. And I thank Ann Schwab for our conversation earlier. We're in a world where people are exploring what divides us. And I'm saying with transparency, that video I put up, somebody's going to look at it and they can be like, Whoopi Goldberg opened up. They're going to be like, Whoopi Goldberg opened up for Natalie Cole singing with her dad. And that's not the important part to me. The important part to me of that video is the love affair between Natalie and her father. What I want to encourage you to do as we are creating communities and as Leslie Flowers is bringing us together in the Hot Thoughts carousel that's on my LinkedIn page today. Those of us who are just trying to light up our fragile AI world in one way or another. And you laugh because Carla is sponsoring a series, Cultivate Trust in a Fragile AI World. And Mel had a fear of AI. A coach had to help bring it to my attention last year. Bryn Tillman, who joined me for the original Cultivate Trust in our Cedar Masterclass series. Bryn says AI is Bryn's thing. She even has Bryn.ai. And Bryn helps you with trust based sales. So it aligns when I invited her in to help kick off our series, just as our webinar series that'll launch on the 18th. Carla will be there with me. Carla was in Girl on Fire. If you haven't had a chance to see it, Cultivate Trust Girl on Fire is on YouTube. I'll ask Carla if she can pop up the YouTube link. I'll put it on so it pops up and people can see it. And actually, as Carla would say, Mel, you know better than that. Carla would say, please subscribe to Be Visible with Mel. It's on YouTube. Every replay that disappears off Meta is on YouTube. Every native, unorganized version of Mel's shorts and our longer sessions of Impossible Live with Guests has Carla's magic, and it ends up on YouTube. And there's a few exceptions. A couple of times I've gone live directly. I don't do it often. But this is a reminder of behind Replenish Trust. We need to do it with discernment. We need to do it with awareness. We need to do it with great timing. I'm reminded through the legacy of my pop as I am about to take mom for the first time to Atlantic City solo without my dad, with mom without her love for the first time in ages since the pandemic. Mom and I last went to the casino. We went to Vegas. I took mom there as unfortunately we're about to prepare to celebrate the life of her bestie. Carla tells me all the time, talk about gratitude, grief, and growth. My pop loved when I talked about trust. He loved the shorts that Carla creates on YouTube, which will finally debut more of on LinkedIn. There's a couple on Meta, but they'll finally debut on LinkedIn this week. Just as you're going to see Carla's magical touches in what we call the many styles of Mel. How many different versions of Mel's hair has Carla seen? Jackie, it is a special trip. The most wonderful thing about it is that our dear friend's mom, one of mom's besties, who she met in 5th grade, her beautiful daughter will pop in and be mom's roommate for a little bit. And Joy flew in for dad's wake, and Joy led off the tributes to my pop. Her brother Mark had come, and Mark was amazing. He also left a tribute. And Mark also helped a lot with my dad's funeral services. He was my utility infielder. When I couldn't figure out who would cover something in a program, Mark did it. At the end, I learned as Mark shared very deep emotions at the conclusion of my dad's services, which was recorded. Mark shared from a place that, hey, Yolanda, how are you? Great to see you. And Yolanda, may the 4th be with you, and may the force be with you. In this conversation, Mark reminded me, for someone planning unintentionally 90% of my pop's celebration of life, the repast is after his wake. The repast after his internment, and my amazing brother, he did the big 10% heavy lifting. So Pop has a Brooklyn Dodger shirt under his suit. And just as we were doing final goodbyes, I added the purple equivalent of this ribbon. And this is a ribbon that I received at the Fearless 35th anniversary gala that I was a fundraising chair. and fundraising co-chair possibly. But at any rate, this purple ribbon is on my dad's chest, and my nana was a domestic violence survivor. Our cousin Tiffany, as some of you have heard, and I thank Marcia Lee and Therese Lang for kicking off the last Domestic Violence Awareness Month and talking about domestic violence. At the 35th anniversary gala, whether I was chairing, co-chairing, just on the committee, my pop watched the video and he realized the board that I was on, what the board was, because a woman was telling a story about domestic violence and how her children were affected by it and how her children had to save her. And my pop and my uncle, one used to stay with Nana, and my dad's biological father, grandpa, and the other would run for an uncle because they were in adjacent buildings. And as Marcia Lee would say, the next time you see me talk about Replenish Trust, I'm hoping that one of the ladies from Fearless or the gents of Fearless, and it's Fearless of the Hudson Valley Inc. You'll see it in a lot of my posts. You'll see a post recently about Fearless having raised $125,000 at their 40th anniversary celebration of Hope Gala. I have used the hashtag Ask Me Why. This ribbon is for hashtag Believe Survivors. These are things sometimes, these are part of the hidden truths that no one wants to talk about. People don't want to mention, and I appreciate it because Jackie Halberg had an amazing post a while ago that helped me discover a gentleman who I'm following today who wrote about the 62 million men during Sexual Assault Survivors Month who are on a website where they're talking about assaulting women. Just before the gala, we had 3 women, all women of color, interestingly enough, that same week were taken out. This is, as Carla would say. Carla said, Melody, talk about Fearless a lot. It's in my bones. It's in my belly. Just like when Dad took me through the building. Just like this song, Unforgettable. Just like this new quest that Anne and Carla have invited me to, Replenish Trust. And we'll dive deeper in this and cultivate trust in a fragile AI world. It's a webinar series, 6 sessions. Pop in for a month, pop in for 3s, pop in for the whole 6, pop in as you, pop in as a VIP, invite us to a team discussion, to have a discussion in a private place with a circle of trust where you can control the flow, the content, and the pace that your modern workforce experiences it. That question last year about fear of AI by a coach who asked me, where were people coming to you? And I said, people coming to me about their fears. And I'm not in Jackie's industry. I don't have any licenses or special degrees or psychology. I was interested in it in college, and thank God I didn't major in it. The series Shrinking reminds me of why not. But as Marcia has lit us up with hearts, and as I treat that as a border, my invitation to you, should you choose or care to accept it, is that, as Marcia says, we need to say it again. There are too many domestic violence incidences as well as deaths in the past month. It's not a comfortable subject to talk about. Marcia is thanking me for continuing to bring it to awareness. My beautiful Nana never mentioned it to me. All she mentioned was one day her granddaughter came in and she said, you need to treasure your light. For those of us who maybe need a smaller, shorter dive, if you're on our YouTube channel, look for the Fearless Hudson Valley playlist. And on that Fearless playlist, You'll see Be a Light, and you'll hear me talk about my Nana also wearing this scarf that reminds her as I'm about to record videos for Mel, a new video for Journey on our YouTube channel, videos for BeVisibleSolutions.com. And I'm going to make May the month to share that voice so that replenished trust is unforgettable in our fragile AI world. Cultivate trust. We need more of us to spread the seeds. And I thank Marcia and I thank Carla for sharing the link to Girl on Fire. Girl on Fire is the one with Carla. It's in a Cultivate Trust playlist. And you'll notice Bob Woods, who will join us for the Cultivate Trust in a Fragile World launch and series. Carla and Bob will join me as speakers for the first two parts of that webinar series. And partially because Bob's the one who helped, Carla and Bob are the ones who helped me get rid of my fear of AI. Ileana helped me start exploring it. Angie Alexander, Gwen White, bunch of people, very, very patient. If you're writing and sharing from your voice, using AI exclusively to rewrite your posts before sharing AI formatted posts on platforms, know that no matter how well they're written, we can see the formatting. It's just like the bots. There's a story that I'll share in our upcoming series about getting a new phone recently. I put it in a comment recently. I think in Social Saturday chat. I think Felipe read it out loud recently. Is that I had to buy a new phone. I had to go to a dear friend. Thank God it was a dear friend. It took 4.5 hours. I knew she was incredibly patient, but I understood. I'd locked all my credit up because of identity theft issues for other family members. It took me an hour and a half to unfreeze it. If you're going to buy something, maybe unlock your credit temporarily. I learned. But I couldn't get past the bots, except for Experian. They made it easy. They also sent the right surveys afterwards. But at any rate, here's Mel with a new phone as we're recording new videos with new tech. But please take a moment, reach out to someone in our fragile AI world who needs a plate, needs a hand, needs a hug. Celebrate the angel moms. And some are watching now. The ones who, like Ari's Yo, whose authenticity unveiled journey to self is about a love of losing her only child at the age of 16. Find the angel moms, find the single dads, shout them out, reach out early this week, buy you flowers, bring them a plate, call them, reach out to a neighbor who's alone, who's widowed, somebody. Take your time. And thanks for joining us live and for replays and for sharing our lives. And for stay safe, stay well, stay inspired, stay in touch. And please, please take great care to celebrate yourself for the energy, for the time, for the love, for the life. And have a magnificent day filled with opportunities and possibilities. Let's add the blessings, opportunities, and possibilities there. Take great care. And I love it because LinkedIn integration is ending. It's a reminder, as our dear friends say with the glitches, start thinking about broadcasting directly to YouTube. I have to talk with Carla about that soon. Take great care. Be well.